It's really hot out here today, mid-90s, and that coupled with the fact that I'm still powering my building through a drop cord makes it a perfect day for testing this little 196cc generator and see if it will drive the air conditioner and a few lights, maybe a few other things as well. So, hasn't been fired up in a while. All I did is check the oil and top off the gas. So, let's stop it, cat. Let's fire it up, let it warm up a bit, and connect the building to it. We'll see what happens. So, I leave the switch on most of the time. All the time, actually, because what I generally do is remove the load and turn off the fuel valve to stop it. So, let's go ahead and turn on the fuel valve and fire it up. I don't know if I'll need any choke or not, considering how hot it is out here, but I'll try it and see what happens. There are two lights turned on inside the building right now, but the air conditioner is not on, nor any other loads. So, even though it's not warmed up yet, I think powering a couple of lights not going to be a problem. So let's go inside now. I'll go straight to high cool. It started right up. We're going to fire up one of these radios and just see if there's any noise on it. The antenna. You can hear a little bit of noise on it because it's AM. And AM, as everybody knows that grew up listening to AM, does tend to pick up noise more so than any other mode. There's nothing on the frequency right now. So let's switch. Oh, there is somebody on the frequency. That's the 40-meter AM calling frequency. Okay, the generator has been running about 30 minutes now. And I'm listening to some guys on 40 meter AM, and this guy that you're hearing right now is only running 10 watts. I'm not sure where he is. I haven't heard his call sign yet, but I heard the other guy talking, and he said that he acknowledged the guy's 10 watts. Anyway, so it doesn't sound too bad. I mean, AM is, you know, it could be that the noise we're hearing has nothing to do with the generator, because it's AM is quite often very noisy, usually is in fact, and being midday in the summer, 40 meters is going to be noisy anyway as well. So we'll and 10 meters will probably be noisy too, but we'll look at 10 meters and 20 meters and maybe 15 meters in a couple of minutes, because being that it's midday in the summer, those bands are probably working a lot better than 40 meters and lower frequencies. Okay, so we're at about 40 minutes now, generator run time. It's getting nice and cool in here. Let's look at some different bands, some higher bands. Okay, here's 20 meters. Upper side band.
India Charlie Echo, MAURICE, and we are in Kingston, just about 5 miles north of Kingston, in a place called Norbrook. Roger. about 20 or 30% of capacity. November NO 4, November Oscar 4 Delta Bravo. Sorry, 6Y 5 Mike Sugar, over.
6Y5 Mike Sugar. Kingston. It's in Ireland. I'll have to look it up and see where that is. So that's on 20 meters. This is YL Club International, I think, which is a traffic net for women hams, female hams. Alright, let's try 10 meters. There's 15. There's 10. Interestingly enough, I don't hear any noise, any undue noise on 10 meters even with the generator running. So this generator will obviously work fine for operating HF radios. So like on field day, they would call this emergency power, which if you participate in field day, you get bonus points for operating on emergency power. So anyway, that's enough of that for right now. But yeah, the generator's been running about 40-45 minutes now, and air conditioner's still working fine. And it's getting cool in here. It's actually already fairly cool. So that's what I wanted to find out. I guess I'll let it run for a couple of hours and then check how much gas it used. Okay, it's been running for 2 hours. So we're going to follow the standard shutdown protocol, which is first remove the load. And you could hear there that it still had a load on it. Now, turn off the fuel valve. Now it'll take a few minutes, but what this does is it allows it to cool down while it's running out the last of the fuel in the carburetor. So therefore the carburetor will be dry, which is a good thing. It's the way you should always store it. So the next step after we do this is going to be put a measured amount of fuel back in it to see how much it used. Okay, before I filled it until it just touched the bottom edge of this fuel level gauge. It's not exactly level, though the generator's not, otherwise it would touch it all the way around. But I filled it so that it just touched the bottom edge. So I've got 1 quart of gas here. Okay, it's not touching yet. We'll get some more gas. Alright. Let's finish filling it to where we started. Okay, that's about it right there. It took pretty much exactly 2 quarts for 2 hours, so 1 quart per hour. Under load of a 5,000 BTU air conditioner, running a large percentage of the time. I mean, it was running all the time, you know, but the compressor was running a large percentage of the time because it was in the 90s here today, and that building is not insulated. So running that and a couple of lights for the entire time, 3 lights and a radio for part of the time. So I guess about half of the time, or slightly less than half of the time, the radio and 3 lights were running. But the second half, just the 2 60-watt bulbs and the air conditioner, of course. So at that, it uses a quart per hour. So 4 hours per gallon. Not bad. By the way, this is ethanol-free gasoline. None of that government-mandated ethanol-laced junk. So, I'm sure it would run fine with that stuff too, but if you have to run that, be sure and run the tank dry. At least, you know, maybe not necessarily in one running, but definitely run the carburetor dry, regardless of what you're running in it. And if you're running the ethanol stuff, also try to run the tank itself dry within 2 weeks on the outside. So I prefer to not use the ethanol laced stuff if I can get away from it, and I usually can. The ethanol free stuff is readily available around here, so you know, you got to look for it, but that's not too difficult. So anyway, there you have it. I'd call this test a total success. So again, look in the video description for a link to this generator if you would like to buy one. It's a good camping generator.